I'm so excited for this video. This one is going to be all about epic Indian food in Tāmaki Makaurau Auckland. We're in the hub of South Asian food, Sandringham. Seriously, this strip is just loaded with delicious eats. Let's get into it. Hi Perzen. This is Perzen Patel, food writer, creator of Dolly Mumma curry paste, and we're going to eat some damn delicious South Indian food, eh?
Yes, definitely.
So we're at Madras Cafe. This place is known for delicious South Indian eats. It's one of Perzen's favourites, which is why we're here. I'm just going to leave the ordering to you.
It's cool. Sounds good. Yes. And we've got our little post-it note where we're going to write down what we should order. You know what I really like about the system is because in India, like in the Udipi restaurants, often there wouldn't be a menu. There would just be like this little whiteboard or blackboard, and they just write something down, like the daily specials.
Yeah.
And otherwise, you're just expected to come in and just like order. Like, you know, there never is a menu. So
Yeah.
it really feels to me like this kind of home style,
That's cool.
canteen style of like thing.
I was going to say, can you explain the style of restaurant, the Udipi restaurants,
Yeah.
to people who don't know what that is?
Udipi restaurants came about because, you know, these South Indian families and mostly like the people who were business owners and started to move and get settled in different parts of India. And of course, they would really miss their food. And I think it's how a lot of ethnic restaurants got started originally, before starting ethnic restaurant was a thing. It was because people missed their food. And there's actually a Madras cafe where I used to live, right in Matunga in Mumbai as well, which is why this place is super special to me. But yeah, so coming back to the why Udipi restaurants got started was because they missed their food. And so it was these businessmen who were like, okay, well, we'll start this small restaurant, and it was called Udipi because they were from the Udipi town in Karnataka.
Got it.
Yeah. So it was like a canteen kind of place. You come in, it's very no nonsense. You just come in, eat your food, and leave, which is exactly how Madras Cafe is in India, in Mumbai as well. You know, and people queue up around the block around 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday to eat at Madras Cafe.
Let's eat.
Yes. Okay. Well, we're gonna make it a ghee podi dosa, and then we're gonna get a lamb pepper fry. Should we get, some vadas? I was thinking, what about a mirchi vada? Like a mirchi bhaji. Have you tried that?
Yeah. Oh, yes. I love those. Yes,
Yeah.
let's definitely get there.
How much can we eat? Oh, look at that. Yummy.
Our table is laden with South Indian classics. We ordered a lot of Perzen's favourites. We've got kothu parotta. We'll talk more about what these dishes actually are, but I'll run through quickly. Kothu parotta, mirchi bhaji, which is battered deep fried chilies, mutton fry, side of parotta, and a ghee podi dosa, which looks and smells absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
Tell me, I reckon tell everyone about the podi, because that's very South Indian.
Yeah. So the podi, like the literal translation, is just powder. And it's like a type of chili powder, or like a mix of it. So it's often got like a mix of dried lentils. There will be a lot of sesame seed, curry leaves, chili, of course. And then podi, like sambar, kind of varies from home to home. So each home would make its own version of a podi. And it's meant to be like this kind of, if you didn't have anything to eat, you could still have like a bowl of hot rice, put some hot ghee on it, and sprinkle podi, and you'd have a full meal. But there's some really interesting stories about how podi came to be on a dosa. The one I like is, there was this, that basically, you know, when the warriors used to go off on war, they couldn't obviously take the chutney and the sambar with them. So the podi was like a dry mix to make the dosa more flavorful as they were traveling. And I think that is, I think with all food stories, of course, you know, it's part legend, part story, but I think that's the story I like to I like to tell.
I think we should try it.
Yeah, try it. And I'm going to tell you, once you have a ghee dosa and then once you have a ghee podi dosa, you won't want to go back to a normal dosa.
So a dosa is a savoury pancake made out of a fermented rice batter. It's crispy, it's thin. Yeah, show us what's going on the inside.
Look at it, so crispy. And so this is the podi I was talking about. You know, you can see all the ghee over there. We've got your basic coconut chutney here. We've got the sambar, and then this is a more spicier tomato chutney.
A sambar is a vegetable.
It's like a vegetable lentil tomato soup. Again, it would be kind of something that every South Indian household make. What I think is interesting is that if you're in India, especially if you're in like a Chennai, Karnataka, people will choose which South Indian place they go to based on the sambar and not based on the dosa. Like, you know, so we actually would go like, oh, this place has this type of dosa, but they'll go there because this place has the better sambar. So, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, well. I eat this on every walk, and it's still my favorite thing to eat every time.
It's crispy, it's light. The podi, which is often called gunpowder, sometimes called gunpowder in the south, is so flavoursome. Bit of heat. Perzen referred to her walks. What she does is food walks around Sandringham. So she obviously knows a lot about food, and she hosts these walks twice a month, where you stop by in all her favourite restaurants and get to taste a bit of India's amazing cuisine. A classic South Indian street food next. This is the kothu parotta, and I have awesome memories of being in Chennai and just hearing the sound of the parotta being chopped up. So parotta is it's wheaten flatbread, eh? Yeah, a wheaten flatbread, and well, it's this, and it's chopped up, and this has got eggs, chicken, onion, I think cabbage maybe.
So it's called kothu paratha because kothu is the sound that it makes. So it's that, and I like to think of this as like, you know, like food. You either have hangover food or like drunk people food, because typically you like go out and have a lot of like drinks, and then typically you'll get really hungry. So that's when a lot of the street food people will sell this kind of more in the night. It's more of a night street food thing than a daytime thing. And also you get all types of parotta now, but basically kothu paratha was invented because it was a way of like using up everything that you had towards the end of the night. So you had the leftover parotta, you wanted to use it up before it would like go stale, and you'd have a little bit of leftover chicken or eggs, and it's just, I love that it's such a great way of like reusing the food. And you know, we talk about it a lot nowadays about like, oh, we need to be ecological, but like that was always a thing, you know. It's so much part of Indian culture where we often use every vegetable and every dish from like root to stem anyways. Yeah.
Our drinks have arrived. Filter coffee, yum. Would you like pour this on?
No, I think, yeah, sometimes you would. I actually feel like it's really flavorful by itself. Nice. And like the softness of the paratha, it just feels like it would be like a chicken curry dipped in parotta at lunch, and now it's like this one complete meal.
It kind of, to me, is like what fried rice is to Cantonese people, just like that type of food.
Yeah. No, that's a really good, it's a really good comparison.
Delicious. In the South, coffee is the drink of choice.
Yes, so I always say this, that masala chai is like the national drink of India, unless you're in the South, in which case it's filter coffee, and they will get really upset if you order masala chai.
It's true though, that's like the second you enter the South, like you switch automatically to coffee, you don't drink tea.
Okay, so we have to, now, if if you were in Chennai, they would do this. It's really hot, but they would go really up top. And you know, this does two things. It increases the foam in your coffee, but it also makes it cooler.
Cool, because it is hot.
And then I always get confused which one you're supposed to drink from. But I think it's the wide one.
The wide one?
We'll go with that. We'll go with that. It's the one I drink from. I don't know if it's authentic or not.
Cheers. It's so good. It's sweet, it's creamy, it's strong.
Much better than cappuccino.
This is the mutton roast.
Mutton pepper fry.
Mutton pepper fry, sorry, mutton pepper fry. Okay, and eaten with the parotta. I've got a real, just picked up the biggest piece.
Yeah.
Right.
I picked it up and then I was like, maybe it's not, not a good idea.
I'm just gonna go for the sauce.
So I like to think, I think this is like, it's very peppery, and that's because a lot of like Kerala has these beautiful pepper farms and things like that. And again, I'm not sure how this dish came about, but I think it's a very simple dish with heavy on the pepper. As you'll see though, that it's got that back of throat spice, but it's not like chili hot.
It's so fragrant and aromatic.
Yes, it's got a lot of curry leaves and then a lot of pepper, and those are the kind of two top notes of it. And it was, you know, I think a lot of Indian culture has this. We all have these really sort of dry, spicy or spicy oily type of dishes, and I think this also speaks to a lot of the climate over there, because it would be something that, like, you can of course preserve meat a little bit longer if it's been marinated in chili and oil. And so Rajasthan has the lal mas, and South India has the pepper fry, and then you've also got like chicken 65, which is also a similar type of thing, where it's the meat that's been marinated in a lot of spices and oil, so that you could take it with you and then just cook it at the last minute.
That's really good.
I'm gonna go in for a second.
Yes, please do. We need to dive in. The food is getting cold. Thank you for eating with us.
Thank you for having me.
If you want more of this food in your life and you're not sure where to start, book one of Perzen's food tours. So they're just based around Sandringham, all her favourite eats. We'll put details down below.